here we start off with the body with a slight mess up with the square. I got there. Bye bye.